Okay, so hi, my name is Renee Pacey, and I'm doing my research topic on should a solution be found to stop the dark net. And I chose this topic because I'm a big fan of like cybersecurity and computer science. I'm a computer science major here at Tulane, and after Tulane, I want to go get my cybersecurity degree for my master's. And so the dark net is like one of the biggest like themes in relation to cybersecurity because it's home to a lot of like hackers and other people who deal in cybersecurity type work. And so basically, just a brief history of what the darknet is. It was created around the same time as the ARPANET, which is like the start of the internet. And basically, originally it was just a number of isolated networks when it was made with the ARPANET because it started out small. And so in 2002, like Tor was released by the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory. And I'll tell you a little bit more Tor in just a second on my next slide. But in reference to history again, in 2010, a cybersecurity firm called ProCybe found that Darknet is home to more than 50,000 extremist websites and more than 300 terrorist web forums. And basically, this is just like a indicator that the dark net is not like a good place. It's a bad place, home to a lot of bad people. And so basically, after that was found in 2011, an expose was made on the Silk Road. And the Silk Road basically was like this very, very bad website on the dark net that was hard to find because it's home to a lot of drug trafficking. And that's how a lot of drugs were bought and sold illegally without a lot of detection. And so then in 2013, the Silk Road was finally shut down, and the ringleader, Ross Albright, was finally arrested and later sentenced to life in prison because he had made over $1 billion from the drug trafficking itself from the Silk Road. All right, so back to Tor. It's a private browser used to access the darknet. It's free and it's given to everyone who wants to download it. It's not illegal. The use of it is not illegal either because it originally was used by early adopters and adapters for like political reasons and just like private browsing. And if you wanted to go like browse on your computer without seeing ads or being tracked by your like web history, then you would use Tor. And that, but unfortunately, other people found Tor as a means to do illegal crimes. And it was made by Paul Syverson and Roger Dingledine, and was released to the public, like I said, in 2002 by the U.S. Naval Laboratory. And currently, Tor is still produced to the people and given to the people, but it's maintained by the Tor project, which is also maintained by Dingledine, because he was one of the founders and wanted to make sure it was still maintained. And so basically, problems with the dark net. Two main problems here. There's no known way to shut down the dark net, and that's a major problem. And it's almost completely anonymous. A common example that people use in relation to the dark net is the iceberg example. Like the picture I have here on the screen, basically, we have three layers of the web. You have the top layer of the iceberg, which is also known as the service web. That's basically like all your search engines, all the websites you can find with your basic search engines. Google, Yahoo, all those stuff. Like you could go to Tulane website using your regular search engines. However, the dark web, which is also known as the dark net, those websites can only be accessed through certain software like Tor. And then you have the deep web. The deep web is different from the dark web. The deep web is basically like Netflix. Stuff that requires a password and it can't be accessed easily. So you can't just go search up someone's Netflix account on your search engine. You can search up Netflix because that's on the surface web, but basically because of that, you need a password to get to it. And since you need a password, that involves the deep web, which is shown here because it has medical records. You need passwords and stuff to get to that. But then when you get to the dark web, it'll only be accessed through uses like software like Tor and other search software. Okay, uses of the darknet. Computer crime, that's like hackers and what they do because they can bypass through other things like bypass through firewall policies using the dark net. And that's why Tor is actually an acronym for, and like the O in Tor is like an onion, and then the R is router. Onions like layers. You can go through different layers by bypassing firewalls like an onion. So that's why it's called an onion router. And basically, other stuff you can do on the darknet, like we said with the Silk Road, what that was used for, sale of illegal goods like drugs, and then they'll even sell firearms and illegal weapons through that. And then they'll have child porn, like video piracy, illegal software, and other confidential files like credit card numbers and stuff. They'll be put on the darknet for people to take advantage of. And then that's why you have like your other cybersecurity means like LifeLock and all those. You use those to keep your information secure so it doesn't end up on the dark web like that. Okay, and then other stuff is whistleblowing people so they can remain anonymous when they like go out with information like WikiLeaks and stuff like that. Whistleblowing in like that sense. Basically, they'll go through the dark web so it can't be traced back to them, so they can do it anonymously. And then basically terrorist activities, you they'll go have terrorist forums so it can recruitment back to the arms dealing so it can recruit. That way they can recruit and then get the arms for the recruitment. Basically that. And then on to the next thing, we have positive examples. Like I said, the darknet is not illegal, and since it's not illegal, it was meant for like people to browse anonymously and use it so they could like not have to worry about ads and other people tracking them. An example of this is like political means. If like in Iran, an example right here is Nima Fatemi in the Middle East. Nima Fatemi was a political activist, and basically Fatemi was taking pictures of like what was going on in the Middle East, and in order to like remain in the clear and not get prosecuted for the crimes he was committing against like the government, he would use the dark web, or no, sorry, excuse me, the dark net, so that way like he wouldn't be traced and could do it without getting persecuted. Because technically, even though what he was doing was illegal in the country that he was in, it's not illegal like here, but he did so like he could avoid being persecuted for what he was doing. So that's another reason why the dark net is used, so that people can escape like persecution. And the dark net also allows for free speech, so that people can say what they need to say without being persecuted, and they can do it anonymously. All right. So basically, like in conclusion, I put my thesis here because I feel like it does a good job concluding this. And my thesis is the anonymity and protection of the darknet continues to promote and protect illegal behavior from terrorist groups, hackers, and other wrongdoers. Personally, I feel that like the darknet, while it was designed for good reasons, so it would provide anonymity and like protection against like persecution and stuff like that, I felt like there's so much wrongdoing now, it just outweighs the good. So I feel like it needs to be taken down because the problem is the dark net, more and more people are using it. As more and more people are being taken down by the government and by the FBI, by the NSA, the more people that are taken down by them, there are more people just using it and using it because it's free to access. That Tor software that's given to free guys given for free to the people is being used by people so they can do illegal things because they know they can get away with it because it's anonymous, and so that way they can get away with what they want to do. And so basically, that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Hope you all enjoyed it.